Are you going to start it? Tell me how you're going to start it so I know. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I'm just so happy that my boss, my mentor, my good friend, it happened.
I've had a lot of great moments in my life, personally and professionally, but this one is right up there near the top.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Buffalo Plus Podcast. Dan Fates joined alongside the man of the hour, Mike Catalana. We will get to all of that in a little bit, but please first be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are going to talk about the Bills getting an ugly win here in Cleveland. They survived. It could have been worse. A Josh Allen injury scare. James Cook, really good, maybe underpaid. The defense making stops at the end. But Mike, let's just get right to it.
Yeah, I already talked to NFL Films. They have referred to this as the Greg Rousseau game. They're going to make a full video on it. It's funny. Myles Garrett is a very nice player, and he's good. I mean, obviously, he was not impactful in this game. I said beforehand, this game is going to be remembered for Greg Rousseau, the best defensive end in the game today, and he was the best. 2.5 sacks. They need to change that rule. What he got on Shador should have been counting as a sack. I mean, it was a grounding. He had to get rid of it. He saw big number 50 coming at him. 2.5 sacks, 7 quarterback hits. Incredible day for Greg Rousseau.
I'm really happy for you.
I did call the strip sack, and I'm a little disappointed in Greg. Got a chance to talk to him afterward.
He's like, you're Mike Catalana from Buffalo Plus. He's like, yeah, my family's worried about how much of a stalker you are for my play. Did he thank you?
Yeah, we had a nice little moment there. We talked.
Did you get the jersey?
Yeah, we're going to do a jersey swap. I'm going to give him a Buffalo Plus.
You're going to give him your dress shirt.
Yeah, here you go. Now, look, he needs to have moments like this. I recognize that. I mean, we joke about it.
Yes.
Somebody needed to step up. And they made a few plays on defense, but it really was Rousseau. Also was the coverage late in the game.
Yep.
Well, we'll get to more of that on the defense. But, Dan, they needed those plays because the team stunk today.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, Greg has turned into a polarizing figure on this defense. I tweeted the open for the podcast for the 5 players we did yesterday on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel, and some people they disagree. Look at the film. Greg Rousseau's been very good, and he's been great, and everybody's allowed to have their own opinion. Greg Rousseau is a nuanced conversation that is very difficult to have those on social media because he does do things well. But I thought Sean's point today after the game of that's the production, the impact that they need. They need it.
Perfect word is impact. Look, he does do a lot of things well, but you paid him to be a difference maker. Mm-hmm. Maybe not a superstar,
correct,
but a difference maker. Today he was a difference maker, and they needed every bit of it.
Yes.
I mean, they needed every bit of those plays, and credit to the rest of the D-line who was getting some pressure, and then he made the play. Credit to the secondary.
Yep.
Good coverage late in the game. It's against the Cleveland Browns, which is concerning, but they did make the plays because the offense went to sleep. Certainly, from the moment Josh took that sack, the offense went to sleep in this game.
Yeah, so let's start there. Let's start with the offense, and then we'll go back
to
let's
start with the fact that 17 seems to be okay. He was limping after the game. I saw him going down the hallway. I mean, not like dragging his leg. He definitely is not 100%. There was no question, but he played.
He said afterwards he tweaked his foot. It flared up a little bit, but later in the second half, the pain subsided. He said he didn't feel like it impacted him at all. Sean McDermott was asked, did it impact you? Do you think it impacted Josh? And he kind of was like, we'll never know because Josh really keeps those things kind of close to the vest. I'm on the sidelines multiple times. I didn't even really notice it. Obviously, I'm bundled up. One of the colder games I have shot in quite some time, and I feel like sometimes that I get into tunnel vision. But obviously, Josh limps off the field. I'm watching him intensely coming out for the second half. He leads the team out in the tunnel. Sean McDermott said he didn't really know at halftime when he's talking to
who was it?
CBS. Evan Washburn, great
hair.
But I saw him kind of both trainers, both the head trainer and the strength and conditioning coaches, like everybody came over to him and Josh kind of was like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to really impact him. I thought there were a couple times that maybe I thought he would take off, and I thought maybe he was a little bit protective of that and didn't. But it seems like he's okay. I think he said, we're all gravy. I think that's what he said afterwards the game, so we'll take it.
He also, his linemen, like I talked to Connor McGovern and Dion, and they were like, unless that dude loses his foot, he's playing, which is
so tough.
He is tough, and he doesn't like to look hurt, which is what concerns you when he looks injured. And the way he got up, but he did come off the field. He walked to there, and look, he was limping a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be an issue. The team said he took an X-ray and it was negative. So let's just see how he plays it out. But he obviously finished the game. But that being said, from the moment of that, Dan,
offense went
and
wide.
he said on that play he tried to do way too much.
Yep. Nearly
Really cost them, and then they went to sleep.
Well, he tried to do the play where he zigs and zags back and forth, and then he ran into Myles Garrett, and then that's trouble. But Josh was a little off throwing the ball. I thought he had a couple of guys open. He missed Khalil Shakir on the 1 3rd down.
He said about that. That was a terrible throw for him. He also missed Shavers over the middle. That's the one sometimes. You don't think he missed Shavers?
He did, and he missed Cooks. But those are balls.
Oh, I don't think he missed Cooks.
Okay, both of those are plays I expect NFL wide receivers.
Not Shavers. Shavers was way behind him.
Okay.
Cooks looked like a drop to me. I mean, that was a beautiful ball he threw to Cooks.
That is the second week in a row.
And then the biggest one, the play that should have just sealed the game, Dawson Knox, who has been so good. He hit him literally exactly between the 8 and the 8.
Yep.
And then Josh said, he always says stuff like this, like, I could have gotten it out sooner. No, it was a perfect throw. And Dawson has got to make that catch because it pretty much would have put the game away.
It would have cashed my over-receiving yards too. But
I'm going to give you that one. It should have happened.
Let DraftKings know. But yeah, the offense was, again, this was another game. Josh was asked afterwards. So was Sean McDermott. Very little production again from the wide receivers. And I have a take that I was workshopping in my head.
Okay, ready for this.
Most of the game. Because sometimes I'm like, I wish we could podcast now because then I forget or I calm down. I give Joe Brady a lot of credit in the recent weeks of figuring out how this offense can move the ball down the field. Because they have, going back to Pittsburgh. And these last few games, I tweeted out the stat of how bad the wide receivers have been and the lack of production the last 4 weeks. It's almost like he's trying to make like Christmas cookies or pizza without the main ingredients. So it's almost like he's trying to make gluten-free pizza or sugar-free cookies. Because when you have an offense in the year 2025, you expect your wide receivers to be a part of it. And they're not. The wide receivers are a very little part of this offense. And I give Joe Brady credit for reinventing it with getting James Cook more involved in the passing game, using all 3 tight ends, although Dalton Kincaid was kind of non-existent. Great play, very close to having a catch. But again, very little impact. It's frustrating because of what I think this offense could be with competent wide receivers or NFL quality wide receivers, NFL starting quality wide receivers. But Joe Brady is trying to make recipes and make this offense functional, and it's like he's not using gluten. And you have some gluten-free pizza, and you're like, it's not bad.
How about this? Chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah, that's maybe more of the crude version. I was going for more of...
You get nothing out of the wide receivers. Shavers had a nice catch, 22 yards. Good for him. Shakir made one nice play. They were non-existent. Cooks has got to make that play. That's why they have you out there. Keon was a healthy scratch.
And so was Gabe Davis. Like, this is where I don't even know if McCole Hardman played.
He returned a punt.
Okay.
Returned a punt. No, they just get nothing out of the wide receivers, which is likely going to cost them at some point.
But that's where I sit there and I go, they're still find ways. And that's where maybe it
well, they weren't finding it today, though. That's the thing.
In the second half when it felt like the Browns really sold out to stop it. And especially in the first half, James Cook, I don't think this is an exaggeration. He's the best running back in football right now.
He's over 1,500 yards, went over 100 yards in this game. And what's funny is they were moving it so easily with the run game in the first half. If you go back to the New England game, I think they had scored touchdowns in 8 of 10 drives, maybe.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because
they
it was
scored
5 in a row.
Yep.
Then they had the one they got stopped.
Yep.
And then, well, then it was a kneel down. And then in this game, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. And you're like, okay, this is what they're doing. And Ty Johnson got in the end zone, and they were rolling. And then they screwed up before the half and got nothing. And then it went to sleep. I mean, honestly, they were bad in the second half. And they got the turnovers and did nothing with them. Had to kick a field goal.
Yes.
So,
I especially early on, and I think I did call it, whether it was on the Thursday live podcast we did, and I don't know if we mentioned it on the 5 players when we got here. I should have been able to bet that the Cleveland Browns would have scored on the opening drive.
Yeah, you did say that.
I said, I go.
They walked down the field.
Walked down the field. I go, this game will start 7-0 Browns. And again, afterwards, I thought they got the stops, the Jordan Poyer interception. I thought the defense did enough. Shedeur Sanders looked like a competent NFL quarterback.
When watching Shedeur today, and look, the Bills' defense is not good enough, but watching him today, he operates like an NFL quarterback. I think he can play in this league. I don't know if he's ever going to be the starter or a main starter, but the guy can definitely play in the league. I think he's an accurate player. I think he'll learn more about getting the ball out. But on those the first drive, they were getting, again, 8 yards of play.
And credit to Stefanski. I don't think we talked about him enough. He's a really good coach, really good offensive mind. And I thought what they were doing in the running game, especially in the second half, I mean, the Bills' run defense has not been average these last 3 or 4 years. It felt like all of their motion, it felt like I was watching the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Like it was misdirection. It was look over here, go over there. Like I thought that was really impressive by what the Browns did. And that's something that, again, you talk about things you're afraid will rear their ugly head in a big moment in the postseason. It's lack of wide receivers, what you're getting out of them, because I felt like the Browns were able to constrict the field then. They were able to say, nope, okay, James Cook's beating us. Let's change that and see if Shavers or Cooks or somebody else can beat us, and they weren't able to.
Yeah. No, it's the concern about this offense.
Chicken soup out of chicken shit. Salad.
Yeah, chicken salad is what. Yeah, I don't like chicken salad either.
Oh, big chicken salad guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Milano made that play on. I'm going to go back to the defense in the first half.
No defense.
I feel badly for that kid, Quinshawn Junkins. Ooh. That was a bad-looking leg injury. At the moment, if that play would have stood, it would have been a touchdown for the Bills. Instead, they ended up giving it back and should have given up a field goal. Former Bill coming through for him, Corey Bjorquez.
Dropping the punt.
Dropping the ball on that play. But I'm going to go back to the defense here. So
we talked about Greg Rousseau. I just want to give you another time to
I'll get back to Greg. You know, I like to share the experiences with these things. I would say this. Shaq went out of the game, neck injury.
Yes.
I don't know. He was on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is. I thought, look, I keep pushing for Terrell Bernard. He missed a couple of tackles early. Then he made a couple of nice plays. Yep. He was running the middle. They started out having him on the outside next to Shaq.
Yes.
Not a great first drive. Obviously, they got better at that. The tackling, I thought, was horrendous in the first half.
Yep.
Second half, I want to pinpoint a few plays. Credit Jordan Poyer. They were driving to take the lead. Shoestring tackle. Then he made another play on a big hit. Credit Cole Bishop on the reverse. Played it perfectly. Waited it out. As soon as he saw he was going to run, attacked him. Great tackle. Credit Taron Johnson on the little swing pass.
Yep.
Great tackle. So they went from terrible tackling to very good tackling on those few plays.
That's why it's so hard to comprehend and put into perspective this defense, because 1 minute they're making great plays, another minute Cole Bishop, who was right in the hole to stop a third down, gets carried 3 yards.
Yeah.
Then he shows toughness on the end around and sticks the guy. And I see, Daquan Jones making that play. I see Deion Walker knocking passes down at the line. And then all of a sudden it's like they're non-existent. They get pushed around. Like, it's so frustrating, I feel like, at times to go from I see a play and I go, that guy's having a good game. And then the next thing I know, I'm watching it going, that guy just got beat on a bad play.
You know what I heard, and I don't know if you've heard this before. The other guys get paid too.
Do.
Yeah,
they do.
They do. I will give the Browns this. They did play with some passion today.
Yes.
They played hard. We haven't even really mentioned the Myles Garrett thing. He was a non-factor in the game.
They ran away from him a lot.
Yeah.
Credit to Joe Brady, credit to Aaron Cromer, credit to the O-line. I thought they did a great job early on.
He gets credit for a sack on that play. Josh, fell.
Yes.
And then I don't even think he's the one that touched him down.
I don't think so, and he wanted to touch him.
I know what you're
Pause.
going to Yes.
He wanted to touch him so bad to
get
get
the-
the credit for it.
So they end up giving him the credit for it.
A half sack.
It's kind of a BS
But
play.
it was a half sack.
So, and it's so funny. Stick up for my man Greg. So we're going to count that as 3.5 sacks today because he made the play on Shador. This is what's funny. When obviously he had a game, good stats.
He did.
He also had the one on Dylan Gabriel who had
He
to come
did.
in the game. But he made a very good play that he doesn't get credit. He gets credit for a quarterback hit, but it's basically a sack because they get him in that position. And then they give one. I don't think the Bills, they know the rules. I don't think the Bills' offensive line was thrilled with the fact that they called that a sack because Josh fell down.
Correct.
But he did. But at the same time, sometimes that when you talk about the offensive line, in that case, Garrett, who as good as he is, really did not make any plays. So that's
Credit to
positive.
Joe Brady, credit to Cromer.
Also, the other guy went Daquan. Attaboy Daquan.
Yeah.
First interception that he's ever had in his life. He never had one in high school, college, whatever. He got an interception. Austin Johnson had 2 last year.
Yes.
So let's see if we get a big man to get a second one during the year. That was good. They knocked down a few passes. That's something Shador's dealt with because, I don't think he's a taller quarterback.
Yeah.
But they did make a few plays that way. But they got those turnovers. Poyer, first interception since 2022 for him.
He was really clutch.
Yeah.
And it is weird to sit here in Week 16 saying Jordan Poyer is making big plays to win games.
Yeah.
I know Greg gets credit for a lot of those, but after the game, Sean McDermott made sure to point out
Poyer.
the performance of Jordan Poyer.
Yeah, Poyer's been really good for them. Not just leadership. You got to be able to play. The other guy I got to single out, I think Trey's playing well.
Yeah.
Tackled well, physical. He's more physical than I remember him.
He had a big pass breakup on the ball.
Yeah.
I think Bosa got a piece of it, but then he blew up the wide receiver in the red zone there. So I thought that was great. You're right.
And it was Bosa who had the other deflection, right?
Walker had one.
And Bosa.
Bosa, yes.
Yeah, for the 2 interceptions. So good to see those guys make those plays. Look, I'm not a big guy that sits there and goes style points. This isn't about style points. There's no style points for this game. This is you survived and got a win.
Yep.
But I also don't think this carries over to the Eagles next week.
Nope.
I just don't think this league operates like that. I know fans and even media sometimes were like, this team's playing well. Like last week we were talking about, are they peaking at the right time?
Yes.
And they played a great game. And
A great
even
half.
though you don't, yes, a very good half, bad first half, great second half. You don't want to admit it. It's had a little trap game feel to it.
I let down. Let down.
It's also a trap game. It can be both. Because it's trap game because
All right,
you're
Jenna.
playing the Browns. Two things can be true at the same time. Jenna Cottrell speak,
Yeah.
but she's right. It can be true at the same time. But the terrible start, that first drive, but I don't think it's about effort. And I do believe the Browns. By the way, Browns played hard. By the way, impressive showing for Bills fans. I know it's not that long of a drive.
I agree.
A lot of Bills fans here.
I thought it was 30% Bills fans, 30% Browns fans, 30% empty seats.
Yeah, there was a
And then
good amount.
And my math, there's 10% of miscellaneous.
Yeah, there was a lot of Bills fans here.
Yes.
And I will say this. Shout out Andy Young, Spectrum News. He mentioned that it was kind of cold in the press box. And I said, I'm going to tell Dan.
Where's Andy?
I'm going to tell Dan that you said that because I had a pass to be on the field before the game. I didn't use it. It was too cold. I went up in the press box. You're not soft when it comes to the cold.
It was different. It's different off Lake Erie like that, being right here on the water. It was cold to your bones.
Yeah, it was just when we walked in from that, we got to go out to that godforsaken parking lot behind this place. It was windy, cold, miserable. So if you sat in these stands today, God bless you for this game because it wasn't exactly a classic.
Correct. 2 points that will wrap this up. You talked about the ugly win. It's way better because there's no such thing as a pretty loss. So you got the win. It's a hindsight win, Mike.
Yep.
This is one of those. You got the win. And again, it was nice again to see where at times it felt like the offense has been able to deliver the knockout punch. They really should have with the knocks drop, but the defense to come up there and make plays because I kind of sit there and I'm sitting there with Dom Tibbetts of KBW going, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This game's getting a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Also, very funny moment after the game, press conference, Sean McDermott, he's talking, and he was pretty stern. You know, he was saying that we need to do the basics better. We need to do this better. We need to improve all these things.
Who was the idiot?
My phone was going off. And it's Jim Nantz calling highlights of some game that's going on. And I hit my phone to mute it, and I locked it. But then when I opened it back up, it started playing again, incredibly loud. So I just turned my back and turned my phone off.
Oh, yeah.
I was too afraid. I just turned my phone off. Press conference ends. I'm like, Derek Boyko, the Bills PR guy. I go,
He's
I'm
laughing.
I go, I'm really sorry. And Boyko goes, first time with a phone, Dan? And then Sean stops, and I'm afraid Sean's going to say something. It is a little bit unprofessional, like hand up. And Sean goes, your face is so red. And he kind of starts laughing. He goes, I don't know if that's windburn or your embarrassment. And I go, no, it's the embarrassment. I go, I turned my phone off, Sean. And he laughs. He goes, way to go. Make the adjustment. And I said,
Oh, that's so funny.
It was very funny where if you're listening to Sean McDermott's press conference on the Bills, you'll hear a phone and Jim Nantz's voice. That was my phone.
So all I want to say about this is, if that was me, it would have been attributed to my age.
Correct, 100%.
It wasn't me. I had the day today.
It was
Me
your
and
day.
Greg. And Dan toughed it out in the cold and then had that moment. We've all done or said
just
dumb
cool.
things in a press conference.
It was just cool to see the lighter side of Sean.
It's a good thing they won.
It was a good thing they won. Because there have been times when phones have gone off before and Sean kind of gives you the death stare, which rightfully so. It was nice to
Two of the happiest people that they won in this order are Dawson Knox and Dan Fates.
and Mike Catalana.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a big victory for me.
Appreciate to all the people that watched, the people that we saw at Riverworks on Thursday for the live podcast. So
Awesome.
many people came up to us and said, you're the first thing we look at after the game's over. Really appreciate everybody inviting us into their house and their community. Really appreciate it. So again, if you can, tell a friend. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're over 42,000, looking to get to 50 by the end of the year.
And Merry Christmas to everybody. Enjoy your holiday. We will not lack for content. So in that moment when you got to get away from some people in your house, because we've all been there at times.
Put on the Buffalo Plus.
Put on Buffalo Plus. So we will have content. We're going to talk to a guy from Philly because they play the Eagles this week.
Bears.
We're going to do our podcast. We're going to have coverage for you leading into the week and get you ready for post-Christmas when they still are playing for, by the way, when we're recording this, I'm assuming the Texans are winning.
Yes.
Did you look?
No.
The game was scoreless when I looked at it. And then they'll wait on the Colts to see. Look at this. Look at me doing this. I just want to see if we got
Don't have
anything.
your phone go off.
No, my phone doesn't go off because I'm a professional. Let's see. It is. Well, the Broncos are losing to the Jags. This is while this is going on. Oh, it's 13-7 at halftime. So you're watching this. Who knows?
Yep.
Maybe the Bills are in the playoffs. Regardless, they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're still fighting for the division.
All right. Have a great Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. We will see you throughout this week as well. For Mike Catalana, I'm Dan Fates. Jenna Cottrell staying warm back in the studio. She'll be back with us next week. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus podcast.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.